When I ran my first marathon, I was about 15 pounds lighter than I am now. I ran that marathon in a 3:30. I recently, 15 pounds heavier, ran a marathon in 3:04. This is a common question I get. Does heavier mean slower? No, not always. The stronger we are, the more we can propel ourselves forward and support our body as we are running, which is why we created a lift run program to help you guys balance your lifting and your running so you can get stronger and run faster.
All right, so we're gonna show you what a lifting day from the Lift Run Hybrid program looks like. We tend to separate the volume quite a bit more. So instead of having like a heavy leg day and then a heavy upper body day, they're more full body days so we can separate the volume throughout the week to prevent us from being overly sore during any of our runs, especially the longer ones. Something else that we do to kind of mitigate some of the soreness, which we really have to take into account for our legs, is our lifts will be a little bit heavier, but the overall volume is a little bit lower. So that allows us to get stronger without kind of having that like very sore feeling that can definitely slow us down and make runs a little bit more challenging. So we're gonna start with some deadlifts today and move through some other progressions, hit a little bit of each body part.
So today we are doing the gym only day, which we have once a week, meaning we space the runs out. So we're not running every single day in the Lift Run program. And some of the runs are easy, some of them are high interval, and then some of them are just gym days. And we'll talk about where you should put your easy runs in relation to the gym day or the high interval running. But for today, I'm gonna start with a warm up. We always do warm ups. It's gonna be 10 banded good mornings to prime my hamstrings, followed by 5 RDLs with a slow controlled descent into 5 and 5 reverse lunge steps, 3 scat push-ups, 3 regular push-ups into a 100-meter run or 30-second bike. Then we're gonna get into those deadlifts that Patrick was talking about, followed by some back rack lunges, which is gonna be really great for our single leg work. So we wanna keep our glutes and our hamstrings strong because they do so much work when we are running that it is very important to not skip that in our training. So let's get to this warm up. We'll get started and get rolling with these deadlifts. When doing the banded good morning, you'll notice my shin is staying vertical, my back is active. So this band is not pulling me forward, but what I'm thinking about doing is weighting my heels and reaching my hips back so I get this great hamstring stretch, and then I push through the floor and squeeze my glutes to finish. This is one of my favorite hinging warm-ups, and all you need is a band.
Something to keep in mind, whether you do 5 warm-up sets or 10 warm-up sets, none of those actually count for working sets. So once you get to your working weight, which I'm not to yet, that's when you actually start counting whatever your working sets are gonna be. A couple things to think about too for the deadlift. Some people really love these and they seem to be very natural. Some people feel a little bit more natural squatting and these feel a little bit more awkward. If they feel a little bit awkward for you, something that tends to make people feel a little bit more comfortable is a more narrow stance. Don't even think about having like our feet underneath the smooth part of the barbell, and then my hands pretty close in as well. Those two things are gonna let me be taller in my bottom position, which for most people makes it a little bit more comfortable on those first couple inches off the floor. So you guys can see if I've got a wide stance and wide hands, I'm lower to the ground. If I start moving in, I can have a taller chest and be a little bit more upright from my starting position, which can make it just feel a little bit more natural or comfortable.
When you're deadlifting, you'll notice some people go double overhand, which Patrick does, some people flip. That is gonna be preference. The biggest thing that we wanna focus on is making sure we are keeping the bar pulled tensioned and tight back to our body, and then our arms are staying long. Our arms should be like cables. They're just supporting the barbell. We're never bending because that's gonna put it into our biceps. We wanna think about nice tight lats, nice stable strong upper back, nice tight midline, and then from there, our legs are doing all of the work.
I feel so much more comfortable double overhand, but it gets limited at a certain weight. So I'll probably go back to a switch grip just to make it easier to hang onto the barbell. But I personally think positioning feels much easier for me. Double overhand feels more like a clean position, which I prefer over deadlifting.
Today's video is sponsored by Element. Healthy hydration isn't just about drinking water. It's about drinking water and electrolytes. It makes sense. You lose both water and sodium when you sweat. Both need to be replaced to prevent muscle cramps, headaches, and energy dips that result from dehydration and low electrolytes. Since the 1940s, we've been told to drink 8 glasses of water per day, whether we're thirsty or not. Thirst is the way our bodies regulate blood volume and fluid balance. When you need more fluids, you get thirsty. And when you drink plain water beyond thirst, it dilutes blood electrolyte levels, especially your sodium levels, and can lead to some nasty consequences. Unfortunately, since low sodium symptoms mimic dehydration symptoms, people often get confused and tend to drink more water. This only exacerbates the problem. With 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium, Element has enough of each electrolyte to move the needle towards your electrolyte goals. You're also guaranteed to find an Element flavor you love. Element is offering you all, my subscribers, a free sample packet with any order. That's 8 single serving packets with every flavor, so you can try out all of the flavors or share with a salty friend. This deal is only good through my link, so make sure you guys click below or follow drinklmnt.com/Christy, Kristi, Eramo, ERAMO, to get your sample pack today. Now, back to today's video. When we run, we use our posterior chain. It is so important to have strong glutes and strong hamstrings. Otherwise, we might start to notice our back or our lower back, right around our SI joint, starts to get a little aggravated and can hurt. We need to be able to support ourselves with our hamstrings and with our glutes so our back isn't doing all of the work as we are running, because when we run, there's repeated pounding that goes up the chain. So having that strong foundation is going to take some of that pounding off of our lower back. By doing this heavy compound lift for not a ton of reps, but we can still get an adaptation by working to those heavier percentages without feeling completely beat down. So we went 1x6, 2x5, I'm about to hit 1x4. I'm at a pretty heavy percentage, but it's not gonna be enough to beat me down, and it's not gonna be enough to make me sore, but it is gonna help me continue to build muscle and build strength, which will support my running so I can run faster and I can feel stronger and also prevent injuries. So I just finished with deadlifts. Now we're gonna move on to lunges. We are on, I think this is week 3 of these lunges, so we're actually doing 20 reps at a time. So it's gonna be 2 sets of 20 back rack lunges. We alternate between front and back rack on this program, and the reps continue to climb as we continue to build the endurance, the strength, and the stamina. But lunges are great because if you think about it, when we are running, we are doing single leg work. We have to stabilize with our midline, we have to support on one leg. On a lunge, the same thing is happening. We need that unilateral movement. So we hit the double leg, now we're gonna go into the single leg with the lunges. It's just gonna be a really great way to build single leg volume, but this is going to be a much lighter weight. So anytime you're doing a set of 10, 15, 20 reps, it's gonna be a higher volume set with lighter weight, just getting time under tension and working those single legs. We do a ton of single leg work in this program, along with core strengthening, because those are 2 very, very important things when it comes to be able to run well and to run fast. We have to have a strong core. We have to be strong when it comes to single leg work.
So we're warming up for some lunges. We've got some higher rep single leg work to do. And just to touch on a question that we get often is like, what's the difference between hybrid training and CrossFit training? They are pretty different, though there can certainly be some overlap. The hybrid training, our goal is to be able to progress in our running and progress in our weightlifting as well. So we want to be adding muscle, getting stronger, and also getting better and faster at running. In the hybrid style training, at least the way we write our programs, we take away all kind of the high skill stuff that you would need to learn to be doing CrossFit. So you're not going to see any ring muscle ups, kipping pull-ups, the things that most people will kind of associate with CrossFit style training. Everybody in the app does have access to all that kind of program as well, but as far as the hybrid training goes, it is a little bit more meat and potatoes as far as the strength training goes. So we're gonna be using barbells, dumbbells. There's not a big learning curve to it. There's a wide variety of styles that we use within those, but the higher skill stuff and the variety of equipment that you would need to do a normal kind of CrossFit style training is just not something that is a part of this program.
So when it comes to running and getting better at running, one thing we talk a lot about is easy running. You are gonna see 2 specific base building easy runs in this program, and that means we're gonna tell you to try to keep your heart rate between 135 and 145, or around a zone 2 to 3, or heart rate 60 to 70%. Everybody has their own metrics, however you wanna do that, but you truly know if you're running easy, and easy should mean that you can hold a conversation. Not like you can squeak out a sentence to your friend and then you have to take a couple big breaths. It's like you could talk like you're talking to me right now, and you could have a conversation and feel easy. Yes, that helps us get faster. It does not slow us down. It doesn't mean we're taking steps backwards. A lot of people think it makes us slower. It makes us faster. It also allows your body to flush from some of these gym sessions. Flush that lactic acid out, flush out some soreness, and just become a more efficient runner. So in this program, you're gonna see those easy runs. You're gonna see 1 interval running day. This is our high intensity run day, and this is usually on Tuesday mornings. We have an optional gym session after it for those of you that want to do the run and the lift. Otherwise, you can cut out that gym session and you'll still have 3 total gym sessions a week. That optional one is our 4th. Then on Wednesday, we go into the gym and we do a full body in gym day. We really believe in hitting different zones and hitting some high intensity training. So you'll see a Metcon or metabolic conditioning piece at the end of that Wednesday gym session. And what that's gonna be is it's gonna be dumbbells, kettlebells, barbells. It could be more of like an EMOM style, 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off, but where you're pushing just a different threshold and you're using your body in a different way, in a different planes than you are when you're just out running or doing intervals on the track. Then we'll take some active recovery days, followed by some more easy run days and some gym sessions, with one long run day towards the end of the week that could also be subbed out for a longer gym session, which we provide options. So it's depending on your goals, how much you want to run, but we provide options for you to run 3 to 4 times a week. We also provide options for you to be in the gym 3 to 4 times a week with a few optional sessions for those of you that want a little bit more.
We got our lunges done. Now we're moving on to some upper body. Anytime we're doing any pressing, which we've got today, I like to pull my scaps into a better position. All the years of CrossFit, I think like a lot of us, we end up being a little bit more pressing dominant, and it's always something I'm working on to get my shoulder blades pulled back into a good position. So for today, we've got some dumbbell bench. There are supersets of dumbbell bench, tape press, and dumbbell fly is what we've got next after our lunges. So these are gonna be back to back to back, and then we'll rest about 90 seconds before we move on to the next set. We've got 3 total sets here.
So we're just gonna end with a finisher of banded lat pull down. So just focusing on squeezing, pulling the shoulder blade back and down. We're gonna do a couple of these paired with some dips. So the dips, they could be on a set of rings, they could be on a box, they could be on a bench, they could be on a matador, just really working the chest and the triceps and the shoulders. And you may be like, why are we doing that? That's because this is a lift and a run program. It's not just a running specific program, and also having upper body strength is gonna help us with everything that we do. It's also gonna help us with our posture, especially when we're on those long runs, so we can support ourselves the way that we should be. So we are in a good, efficient, and a good posture as we are running, so we can run faster. So it all goes hand in hand, and like Patrick said, we're working on the lifting and we're working on the running. We're not only lifting, we're not only running. We wanna be good at both, and that's what makes an awesome hybrid athlete, and that's why I love this style of training. We hit these same muscle groups multiple ways throughout the week. So like we talked about earlier, we have 3 with an optional 4th gym session, and we're constantly hitting full body in every session. We always have that compound lift. It might be upper, might be lower, might be single leg. It's gonna be focused on something different each time, and we are progressing. And then we have accessory work to follow. Sometimes it's more accessory work, sometimes it's less, sometimes it's heavier, sometimes it's higher volume. So that way we can keep hitting our full body, and we can make sure that we are firing and we are progressing and we are getting stronger. And that's what I think makes this program super fun. So we hope you guys enjoyed this. Full body days are some of my favorite days, and I love the cardio too, so get a little bit of everything. Don't forget, smash the like button, drop any comments below that you might have. We'd love to answer them, or even comments if you want to see us break down something else in a future video. We love those too. Have a great day. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video.
Smell the roses in a tulip, spin it like a hula, fill it all in your medulla. Too hot to handle, got me feeling brand new. Blow it out like a candle. Ay, this ain't nothing but a sample. This that Uptown Boulevard, living large, avant-garde, no charge. Rose gold, superstar, ready, set.